This week on the Case of the Week, we'll be talking about what is the best sports movie of all time. I'm joined by Phil Poupore, Jesse Irwin, Paul Daniels. Paul, lead it off.
Well, I got the one and only Texas Western minor team, and it's Glory Road. That's my pick.
What about you, Jesse?
I was thinking about going with Rocky, considering it won for Best Picture, but I think at the end of the day, I've got to go with Remember the Titans.
What about you, Mr. Phil?
Well, let's take a little look here. You know what, guys? There's something special about Sideline tonight, you know? Great moments are born from great opportunity. And that's what you have here tonight, boys. That's what you've earned here tonight. One case. If I played them 10 times, they might win 9. But not this case. Not tonight. Tonight I speak with them. Tonight I stay with them. And I shut them down because I can. Tonight, I have the greatest courthouse case in the world. Miracle.
No,
All right, Herb Brooks, thank you. I am inspired now.
Yeah, I love that case, and I think you'd agree with me. Miracle's one of the best movies of all time.
It's a great movie.
But if you're gonna go and say that it's the best of all time, not tonight.
No. But
I mean,
yeah.
arguably the greatest hockey game of all time, so I don't see why the movie can't follow
Well,
suit.
how is Glory Road not the best basketball movie of all time? It won 2006 SB Award winner 2006, and the story itself. I mean, Don Haskins desegregated and was the pioneer of desegregation in basketball. It changed basketball. Your win, it changed hockey a little bit, but not as far as divisions in basketball and desegregating it. He changed that movement.
So I think, do you mind if I make my case?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to make it, it's going to be a personal case because basically I didn't really understand what sports meant to me until I saw Remember the Titans. And for me, for all of us as fans, we saw sports as 40 minutes of a game or 9 innings of something or 4 quarters. But then I saw Remember the Titans and I saw that sports were so much more than that and that they had a bigger meaning than just what was happening on the field. And Remember the Titans showed us that in a way that changed me, it grew me as a person, it matured me as a person. And you look back at the performance by Denzel, he won almost every award except for the Oscars, and he won Best Actor for multiple academies, whatever you want to call them, and a lot of people claim that to be his best performance ever. And the cast as a whole just showed what it meant to be part of a brotherhood. And that's what sports are apart.
Yeah, but in terms of Miracle, I think you have to say the fact that there was a greater thing going on at the time, the Cold War. So I think when you put it in that perspective, it was literally the U.S. versus the USSR. And at the time, the Soviets, they won 6 of the previous 7 Olympic Games going into 1980.
And what I would argue with that is everyone in this nation wanted the U.S. to win. Whether as going to Texas Western, there was probably half the population in the U.S. were rooting against the Texas Western Miners because they had all black players playing in the national championship. And that was the first ever to do so in the national title. First championship history, Don Haskins starts all 5 black players.
And meanwhile, on my field, blacks didn't want to play with whites and vice versa. And somehow they found a way to make it work, and they became, as far as movies go, possibly the greatest brotherhood to ever exist.
That movie made me really sad at the end.
When was
Maybe that's the
Remember the Titans, though? When did that take place?
It was based in 1971. It was filmed in
So it was
produced in 2000.
after Don Haskins' 1966. He was the
Jackie
pioneer.
Robinson came before Don Haskins.
Yeah, but it was one player. It was one player. See, this movement.
It's about a team. It's a team effort, right?
I understand that, but only 5. This was the only time they started all 5.
So you're going to call Glory Road the greatest sports movie of all time?
Yes, that's what I said.
What do you think of Jimmy Craig? What do you think of Mr. Craig?
Just the fact that Herb Brooks was able to take all college players, the average age of the U.S. Olympic team at the time was 21, and to take down the Soviets with a collegiate team, basically. I mean, nowadays you have Sidney Crosby versus Patrick Kane, and that's all fine and dandy, but I mean, to take a whole collegiate team and take on the Russians, and a lot of the Russians had better training facilities. A lot of them were in the military, so they had the best physical.
But is this about the best storyline of all time, or is this the best movie of all time?
The way the movie was executed, Kurt Russell, I think, did an excellent job portraying Herb Brooks. I mean, the again scene where again.
Hey,
I mean,
legs
you
feed the
can't.
wolf, guys.
I'm
Legs
not
feed the
disagreeing.
wolf.
I think it's one of the top 5 greatest movies in sports history. But I guess I'm just wondering, are we talking about a plot line, or are we talking about cinematography? Because those are completely
the
different
movie
things.
that
I'm talking about
inspired
both.
people the most.
I'm talking about both, and I think Glory Road executed on both ends of storyline and plot line. They did a great job. And let's bring up box office numbers. 17 million in its opening weekend, #1 box office, and it raised 41 million overall.
I don't like bringing up box office numbers.
Yeah, not a huge fan of the box office
I think
numbers,
Disney
you know?
produced mine. I don't know if that's really
Well,
fair.
Disney co-produced
Wait, guys,
with
I think
us as
Phil has a
well.
speech to say.
Oh gosh.
Kyle, I'm going to talk to you on this one. These guys, they think they can win on talent alone. But you know what, gentlemen? You don't have enough talent to win on talent alone. And you don't have enough box office numbers to win on box office numbers alone. We defeated communism.
All right, guys, we all know the best. One of my favorite sports movies
Hoosiers.
is Quack. Quack.
Oh.
Quack. Quack. The Mighty Ducks. But the winner of this argument, because Kurt Russell did inspire my life, and I do believe the legs feed the wolf, because I heard that a lot of times growing up. Well, that does it for this week on the Sideline. Nobody really loses. Everyone wins. I agree with all of them, but Phil actually wins.
Do you believe
so
in
we're going to take a week
miracles?
off for spring break.
Yes.
Yes.
But we'll see you in 2 weeks on the same Pioneer channel, the same Pioneer time, same Pioneer Sideline.